Todd McShay has released his mock draft 1.0 for the 2022 NFL draft, and the New York Jets have 2 top 10 picks. Let's take a look at who he's got the Jets selecting.
Jets, Jets!
All right, welcome in. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. All right, we're talking mock draft. Todd McShay releases his 1.0 for the 2022 draft, and the Jets have 2 top 10 picks. Right now, he has the Jets picking at number 4 and number 9 overall. So let's take a look at the prospects, and we're going to go through this each time he releases a mock draft, the same with Mel Kiper and all those guys. So that way we can learn all these prospects and kind of take a deeper dive into how the board could break and what type of situations the Jets could find themselves in. So at number 4 overall, they have the Jets selecting cornerback out of LSU, Derek Stingley Jr. He's 6'1", 195 pounds. This guy is absolutely an elite prospect in this draft, but he's going to have the M next to his draft card because he has had some medical concerns over the course of his career. Right now, he had foot surgery back in like October or so he only played in 3 games for the season, but his his freshman campaign, he had 6 interceptions, like 30 tackles, like a whole bunch of stuff. This guy is really a legitimate weapon that could go against the other team's top wide receiver and just follow him all over the field. He can play zone concepts. He can play man concepts. So the player himself is really good, but the injury concern for me is the issue I have. And going before the Jets, he has Aiden Hutchinson going 1 to the Lions, Kayvon Thibodeau to the Texans at 2, Evan Neal, the tackle from Alabama, going to the Jaguars. So the Jets are sitting at 4, and he has him taking Stingley. So I think Stingley is absolutely worthy of a top pick like this, but because of how many injuries the Jets have had over the course of the last few years, specifically this season as well, I don't know if it is a wise move to take on a player that might have injury concerns. That doesn't really sit well with me. Not to mention, this defense seems to be predicated on its defensive line and how fast that front 4 can get after the quarterback, and then it kind of makes the cornerback's jobs a little bit easier. And I do think we need a cornerback, don't get me wrong. I think that's an important part of this defense, but I think it's an area that you can address maybe in the second round and in free agency as well and kind of put things together. I think for me, at this point, at number 4, I would be looking more towards someone like George Karlaftis or David Ojabo, the other edge from Michigan. I think either one of those guys would provide more value to this specific unit. Ideally, if Carl Lawson comes back and he's 100% healed from the Achilles injuries, then yeah, sure, maybe you don't need to spend a top 10 pick on an edge rusher. But an Achilles injuries is so different from like an ACL. Like, this is a burst style position and a burst type of player in Carl Lawson. And there is a legitimate fear that he's not going to get all of that back. And how effective is he going to be if he doesn't have that burst? So for me, I would go edge rusher here and taking either Karlaftis or someone like Ojabo. Either one of them would be a good option. Ojabo has a knack for getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands. So that would probably be the route I would be looking to go. And then after a few more picks, the Jets are picking at number 9. He has them taking safety Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame. And I know a lot of Jet fans are going to be pulling their hair out. They're thinking, oh man, this is Jamal Adams 2.0. I can't have the PTSD from taking a safety inside the top 10. It's just my brain won't let me do it. And I completely understand. It's definitely where I was initially on this topic of safety in the first round. And I think I've warmed up to it a little bit more. If this guy is considered a unicorn-type player, a real legitimate Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu type wide receiver that you'd be getting, someone that can create turnovers, can cover the whole field, then I think you really have to consider it. Someone that can come into the box as well and really play the run or just be a weapon, a chess piece that you can move all over the field. Think of like the queen on a chessboard. This is what this guy is. 6'4", 220 pounds. This guy's an elite athletic specimen. This isn't like a Jamal Adams who had the leadership qualities, but the speed and the coverage instincts just weren't quite up to snuff. So I do think Hamilton is a better prospect overall. Looking at the guys who have gone ahead of him, I'm not upset with this pick. I do think this particular player could help the defense more overall than, say, like a Stingley type pick at number 4 would be. And we definitely need safety help. Look, we don't have Marcus May next year, and Ashton Davis, I mean, figure you probably plug him into one of the starting safety roles. I don't know if we're going to bring back LaMarcus Joyner. I'd really like to see us do that, at least for depth. So Hamilton, I could probably get on board with this pick, but then you're starting to talk about guys like Linderbaum at center, depending on how you feel about McGovern. Maybe you kick McGovern over to guard, and then you start Linderbaum at center. Then you have some other options. Maybe you start thinking wide receiver. In this sort of scenario, Jamison Williams, the receiver from Alabama, is already off the board at that point. But I don't know why they have the Jets pick at 9. Currently, we're at number 7, so I guess it's Seattle winning some games in these last few weeks. Either way, I would like to address wide receiver probably in free agency. There's some other positions that I would like to go. So overall, if I had to, really flat out pick something, I would go David Ojabo at number 4, and I would go Kyle Hamilton at number 9, I think. Or if you want to swap Hamilton for number 4 and Ojabo for number 9, depending on where you think the value is. But I do think edge rusher is the first and foremost position to really look at. And then you're kind of in that offensive line safety. I don't know if there's a linebacker that's really set himself up to be in the top 10. They have Nakobe Dean in there. If he fell, maybe you look that route, because I do think inside linebacker is going to be an issue for this team moving forward. I don't think C.J. Mosley will be on this team beyond the 2002 season, and outside of that, you really just have Quincy Williams. So guys, let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Are you excited about these two picks in Stingley and Hamilton? Do you want to go a completely different route with one of them, with both of them? Let me know your top 10 or your top 2 picks that you would make in the top 10 down below in the comments. And as always, go Jets.
Jets!